Welcome to Carly's Dark Corner. Mwahahaha. So I'm here in Ransom Woods and it gave me a good idea for a story, and I thought I'd do it a little bit like a real sort of life crime type of thing. So I hope you enjoy. Peter Sandheim was a fair-haired young boy at only 11 years old. He went to visit his grandparents at an old cottage located in the midst of Ransom Woods, and he was making his way home through the trees to go back to his mother. But poor Peter would never actually make it home. It's said that it's through these woods behind me that poor Peter was taken hostage and kidnapped. That night when Peter didn't make it home, his mother frantically searched the woods looking for him, for any sign that he was on his way home. But when the night got darker and everything felt colder, she was forced to call the police and report her son missing. 3 days later, after the police had searched the grounds thoroughly and search teams had gone here, there and everywhere looking for Peter, and there was still no trace of him. Well, 3 days later, on a frosty, cold morning, a jogger went out for a run and came across a white piece of paper with a note written on it. The note read, £10,000 for a finger. And the jogger examined the note, but eventually, after looking at it and looking around, they thought nothing of it. They thought maybe it was a prank or something like that. They didn't think anything really of it. So they carried on further along into the woods, and that's when the first body parts were found. The jogger came to a clearing, carried on running, thinking nothing of the note, thinking that perhaps it was just a prank, and that is when they came across the fingers of poor Peter. That the fingers were like dummy fingers, that it had all been a massive prank, that someone was playing tricks on them. But as the jogger grew closer to the digits, each one was nailed to a different branch on a tree, and they examined it closely, looking at the bloody stumps of the congealed blood at the end of the finger and the nails, and they were too small to be adult nails. The jogger panicked and hysterically exited the woods and called the police. Police came swiftly, eager to find Peter still alive. As they searched, they found more notes. The second note reading, "You need to have guts to do this job." And it was located on quite a large tree. When Officer William found the note, he looked up at the branches, and there above him was something that resembled dried sausages. But he knew it wasn't sausages. He knew it wasn't pork. He knew it wasn't beef. He knew exactly who it was and what it was. And the hope of finding Peter alive quickly drifted away. A further venture found small legs buried in the soil beneath the ground, and they were stood upright, and in the stump at the top of the leg, where the leg had been severed, there was a stick with another note attached. It read, "You can't lose your footing in these woods." The sickening sight actually made Officer Williams throw up. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. And these body parts were very clearly not an adult's. He knew it belonged to Peter even before the forensic team came out and investigated. Officer William Bridge approached the last note they would locate, and it read, "In times like this, it's hard to keep a straight face." And stitched into the trunk and the bark of the tree, almost becoming a part of it, was the face of poor 11-year-old Peter. And that was the last body part they found. It was investigated for 20 years, but no evidence was ever found. They kept it open for a long time, and eventually the case went cold. There were no other similar murders in the area. Nothing could link the killer to Peter. It seemed like it was just a random act of pure evil and cruelty. Thank you for listening to that gruesome story, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.